Right from the opening frame, Norman Lear breaks a sacred rule of American sitcoms by forcing the audience into a state of dramatic irony. Few viewers realize that by revealing Edith's medical crisis before Archie knows, the writers altered the very DNA of 1970s television. This single creative decision changed television forever, transforming a simple comedy into a historical mirror. The studio audience, usually so quick to laugh, falls into a sudden, breathless silence as a hidden crisis takes center stage. One subtle detail often goes unnoticed. Jean Stapleton's nervous patting of her apron was an unscripted, instinctive acting choice. At first glance, this looks like typical stubbornness. But Stapleton understood that Edith's real tragedy was her fear of being a burden. But that's only the beginning of how the show uncovers the painful, isolating realities of that generation. Most sitcoms of the era would treat an illness as a quick plot device, but Norman Lear chose the exact opposite path. This radical honesty is why the finale paid off, proving the multi-camera format could handle the rawest forms of human suffering. Archie thinks he's simply asking for dinner, but the audience knows he's asking too much from a woman already on the edge of a collapse. This stark spatial separation in the frame underscores the profound emotional blindness growing within the Bunker household. Every time Edith winces in pain, a heavy wave of discomfort hits the studio tape, proving the laugh track had become obsolete. The live studio audience tries to giggle at his usual complaints, but the laughter quickly dies down into a heavy, uncomfortable dread, and the emotional cost becomes even clearer when the noise of the household finally fades away. Lear deliberately forces the festive noise of Archie's tavern to clash directly against the devastating stillness of Edith's bedroom. For longtime viewers, the familiar boundaries of the sitcom vanished here, replaced by a raw, unvarnished look at a marriage laid bare. This sudden pivot to the dark bedroom demands that Carol O'Connor dismantle the bombastic caricature he built over 9 seasons. Traditional sitcoms always favor dialogue to resolve a crisis, but Norman Lear gambled entirely on visual storytelling. O'Connor's heavy, labored breathing tells the story of a man physically registering a guilt he cannot articulate. At this exact moment, the character's signature defense mechanism, his booming voice, dissolves, leaving him entirely exposed. That is why this episode still feels modern today. It refused to protect its patriarch from his own structural flaws. His booming voice is entirely gone, replaced by a soft, desperate whisper as he takes her frail hand into his rough palms. Behind the scenes, O'Connor actively fought to keep his voice cracking, rejecting studio notes to protect the scene's emotional integrity. He looks at her face as if memorizing every detail, realizing how close he came to losing the woman who held his world together. Yet the most remarkable choice comes next, when the production strips away the final layer of television artifice. Lear's refusal to play a musical score under this confession forces us to confront the heavy reality of the scene completely unassisted. The tears falling onto the old blanket signify the exact moment Archie's historical caricature dies and a human husband takes its place. By abandoning his own holiday celebration, Archie finally surrenders his immense ego to the quiet sanctuary of their shared life. As he falls asleep in her arms, the absolute silence of the room speaks louder than any laugh track ever could. This single episode is the reason All in the Family transcended its era, proving comedy can achieve greatness when it honors human pain. This beautiful visual staging physically lowers Archie, an artistic acknowledgement that Edith's quiet devotion was the true spine of the household. Ultimately, this is the definitive milestone that proved prestige. Television did not begin in the 2000s, but right here in 1979. If moments like this still remind you why television once felt like family, we'd be honored to have you journey with us in keeping those memories alive. Because All in the Family still matters today, not for the barriers it broke, but for the profound empathy it left behind.